The biggest mystery in the universe is not how something came from nothing. It's why you're so certain that there was ever a something to begin with. Right now, your mind probably has a story about how you got here. Maybe it says there was a big bang. Galaxies formed, stars exploded, planets cooled, molecules combined, evolution happened, your parents met, you were born. And that story feels satisfying because it gives the impression that reality has been explained. But look carefully. That entire explanation is just another appearance happening right now. The Big Bang is a thought appearing now. Evolution is a thought appearing now. Your memory of childhood is appearing now. Even the idea of billions of years is only a concept appearing in present experience. So the real question is not how did the universe begin? The real question is what is this before the story? And this is where things get uncomfortable because most people ask, why is there something rather than nothing? And they secretly imagine that nothing would look like some giant black empty void, but that's not nothing. Blackness is something, empty space is something, a void is something. So what is actual nothing? Try to picture it. You can't. Because the moment you imagine nothing, you've already turned it into something appearing in consciousness. Now here's where the problem gets deeper. Most people assume that nothing would be simpler than existence. No universe, no suffering, no death, no consciousness, nothing at all. And on the surface, that sounds reasonable, but think carefully. If there truly were nothing, what would stop reality from spontaneously becoming something? What law would prevent it? There would be no laws, no space, no time, no causation, no barrier, no mechanism holding nothing back or in place, meaning absolute nothingness would have absolutely no ability to remain nothing. And suddenly the line between something and nothing starts collapsing. This is the part that almost nobody questions. Scientists spend their lives trying to explain where energy came from, where matter came from, where space-time came from, but almost nobody stops to ask what they even meant by nothing. Because they still unconsciously imagine nothing as some empty container. But actual nothing cannot be an empty container. A container is already something. Now look in your direct experience, not theories or philosophy or religion, just this right now. Sounds, colors, sensations, thoughts, breathing, the feeling of your body, the image of the room around you, you call these things something. But why? How exactly are you distinguishing them from nothing? Maybe when you were a child, you asked your parents the difference between something and nothing, and they pointed at a chair and said, "That's something." Then they pointed at the air and said, "That's nothing." But what if they had pointed at the chair both times? What if this entire field of experience is already nothing? Not metaphorically, literally. A tree is nothing. A car is nothing. A thought is nothing. The sound of rain is nothing. Pain is nothing. Pleasure is nothing. The taste of ice cream is nothing. Your entire life is nothing. And the mind instantly resists this because it hears the word nothing and interprets that as non-existence. But that's not what's being pointed to. Nothing does not mean absence. It means no inherent thingness. No independent substance, no separate object standing apart from reality. Look closer at experience right now. Where exactly is the border between awareness and what appears inside awareness? You see colors, you hear sounds, you feel sensations, but can you actually find the dividing line between consciousness and its contents? Or is everything just one seamless appearance? Now here's where it gets even stranger. You think you are a person inside reality looking out at a world made of objects. But that assumption itself is never directly experienced. all you ever actually know are appearances. Sight, sound, thought, sensation, even your sense of being a person is just another appearance. Notice this carefully. The feeling of me is made out of thoughts and sensations and memories and mental images. But where is the actual self that those experiences supposedly belong to? Can you find it? Not the thought of yourself, not the image of the face, not the sensation in your head, the actual entity. Where is it? This is the part that the mind keeps avoiding because the closer that you look, the more obvious that it becomes that the self is just another appearance happening inside of consciousness. And if the self is an appearance, then who exactly is standing apart from reality observing it? No one. There's just experience happening. Thoughts appear, sensations appear, the sound of a bird appears, the feeling of confusion appears, but no separate observer can actually be located anywhere. And suddenly the question, why is there something rather than nothing, begins transforming into something much stranger because now the distinction itself starts dissolving. This moment is not something appearing inside nothing. This moment is what nothing looks like. Not empty blackness, but this right here. The room you're sitting in, the feeling in your hands, the sounds around you, the thoughts in your head, the sense of existing. All of it appears out of nowhere, made of nowhere, happening nowhere. And the mind hates this because it wants solid ground. It wants reality to be built out of actual things. Particles, matter, objects, cells. But direct experience never actually gives you objects. It only gives you appearances. And appearances are strange because they exist, but you can't actually find what they're made of. Take a thought. What is a thought made of? Not what causes it, not which neurons correlate with it. What is the actual substance of the thought? You cannot answer. Now ask the same thing about the color red or the sound of music or the feeling of sadness. What are these things actually made out of? The deeper you look, the more reality starts resembling an impossibility. Existence is happening, but no actual thing can ever be found. And this is why the question has never been solved intellectually, because the intellect itself is part of the experience. The mind is trying to stand outside reality to explain reality, but it never can. Everything it uses to explain existence, language, logic, memory, mathematics, science, already appears inside of the very mystery it's trying to solve. Now here's the deepest part. You are not separate from this mystery. You are the mystery. Not your name, not your history, not your personality. Those are thoughts. What you actually are is this empty field in which all appearances arise. The awareness in which the universe appears, and that awareness is impossible to locate. It has no shape, it has no color, no age, no location. You cannot find where it begins, you cannot find where it ends, which means that the thing you call your existence may not actually be a thing at all. Just an appearance, a happening, a dream with no dreamer. And maybe that's why there's something rather than nothing, because there never was a difference between them to begin with.